So, let's get to it. You want the truth? Enough with sugarcoating things. These same women who call you an idiot live in a loop of trying to please exactly the type of guys they pretend to hate. It's hilarious. They shout to the world how much they despise certain behaviors, putting these guys on the idiot shelf. But do you know what they forget to mention? That it's precisely this type of idiot they spend makeup, time, and even patience trying to impress. But don't be fooled. The so-called detestable behaviors aren't even that big of a deal. In reality, it's often just small actions that show the guy values himself and couldn't care less about others' opinions. And you know what they suggest? That you stop doing what makes you different and start behaving like a trained puppy. Because of course life becomes much easier for them when you conform to their whims, right? Today, I'm going to hit you with 6 behaviors that make you that idiot they talk so much about. But who, deep down, they can't help but chase after. Let's see who the real idiot is here. Number 1, knock her off the pedestal and forget the whining. Believe it or not, women come to this channel in droves just to dump their basic hate on videos where I speak the plain and simple truth. Prioritize yourself. They scream that if a man follows this idea, they will disappear. Oh, really? Then why are they still here paying attention? Want to know? That's just cheap intimidation. The problem is they want to be the center of the universe. All I suggest is that men shouldn't live as satellites orbiting around a woman. I simply say that he should care more about his own interests and goals. But for some spoiled princesses out there, that's the end of the world. A man who puts himself first is an idiot? Yeah, sure. These same women believe that a man's role is to be a sidekick in a story where they are the protagonists, always ready to serve as that shoulder to cry on, the emotional doormat they step on and wipe their dirty shoes on. And you know what happens to this type of woman? They end up alone, sunk in self-pity, wandering through relationship channels, whining and blaming the idiots who chose to value themselves. Meanwhile, women who truly have value, who understand what a real relationship is, know very well that a man who prioritizes himself is a catch. They seek a strong guy who doesn't fold like wet paper. If putting yourself first makes you an idiot to a few women who just want to use you, then embrace the title and hold your head high. Better to be a respected idiot than an insignificant doormat. Number 2, the power of total detachment. You know that story of not valuing what you already have? Well, a co-worker, a typical player, came to tell me, outraged, that men didn't fight for her. But hold on, the issue wasn't lack of respect or value. Her drama was something else. These guys didn't fall for the silly traps she set. Want to know the girl's dirty trick? She loved posting pictures at clubs, hugging other guys, and expected the poor boyfriend or hookup to freak out at seeing it. She wanted the guy to turn into a social media detective, checking stories and begging her to explain who those friends were. But when the guy didn't get upset when he looked and thought, "Play around as much as you want, I'm cool," and walked away like she was just another face in the crowd. Oh, she went nuts! How dare he not fight for me? How dare he ignore me and not fall for this mediocre game? What she didn't understand, and many still don't, is that this so-called fight they expect to see is actually pure emotional manipulation. They want to prove they are the center of the universe and that everyone should revolve around them. But when the guy is totally detached, when he doesn't care about the show and walks away, she crumbles. She gnaws on her own ego, doing everything she can to get his attention. In other words, in the end, she dug her own emotional grave and jumped right into it. So, my friend, if you want to turn the tables and leave any player crazy trying to figure you out, learn the art of detachment. Always be ready to turn your back and walk away at the first sign of games or unnecessary drama. No remorse, no fear, and most importantly, no hesitation. This stance isn't just the one that makes the biggest impact, but also the true dividing line that separates men who control their own destiny from fools who keep dancing to the tune she plays. When you show that you don't depend on her approval to be happy, who loses their mind is her. Number 3. Doses of absence. The bitter remedy. They hate to love. Let's be honest. Many women only want a man's attention when they are bored or when other contacts have magically disappeared. Then, out of nowhere, you become the perfect friend, the clown on call, ready to liven up her little show. But as soon as another option arises or any better distraction appears, you're back to being that forgotten number in her contacts list. Rejected when you try to plan something, ignored when you show interest. They only look for you when there's no one left to like their story. Get it? But when a man appears only when he wants to, who vanishes for a few days and doesn't care about sending cute messages all the time, the story changes. The girl loses sleep, gets obsessed, imagining what the hell you're up to. This guy, who isn't the puppy barking at the first message she sends, becomes a mental challenge she can't resist. Do you know the secret? Doses of absence. Disappear, and I guarantee she'll go crazy trying to figure out what's wrong. She'll curse you, call you an idiot, childish, immature, and all that. But deep down, she can't stand the indifference. She'll do anything to put the leash back on you. It's that old rule. The harder you are to catch, the more effort she puts into keeping you close. Because what requires effort, what doesn't come easy, is exactly what creates bonds. If she really wants your attention, then let her work for it. No more being the 24/7 available doormat. Let her feel your absence, question your actions, think about you all the time. In the end, who will be holding all the cards? You. Because being in control of your own time and presence is being in control of the game. If you're tired of being the idiot she uses as a doormat, who accepts any crumbs and is still kicked to the curb whenever she wants, then wake up. It's time to stop swallowing disrespect and turn this dirty game around. Go to the description and grab the digital book I left for you. After reading it, you'll learn to be a true challenge, never lower your head again, and put any woman in her place without mercy. Enough of being trampled on and discarded like a useless object. If you want respect, then start acting like a man who demands it. Number 4, never be anyone's puppet. Let's get straight to the point. If you allow yourself to be manipulated by a woman, congratulations, you've just become the perfect puppet. And do you know what's more ironic? This is the type of role they say they hate, but secretly try to fit every man who doesn't have the guts to stand up for himself. Why? Because in practice, it's easy to have a servant who fulfills all her wishes. It's convenient to have a guy who dances to the tune, obeys, does everything to please. But, and the attraction and respect, they disappeared in the first act of this comedy. The man who allows himself to be molded like clay soon becomes predictable, boring, and honestly, disposable. Because no one feels attracted to a doormat. Respect and admiration evaporate in the blink of an eye. And then, my friend, you become just another one in the list of those she used and discarded. But when you're firm, show that you won't swallow games and manipulations, something magical happens. She loses control, and the game changes. You know what really challenges this logic of wanting to dominate? A man who makes it clear from the start that he won't be manipulated, who won't chase desperately when she throws the bait, and who knows how to say no without fear of displeasing. This type of behavior is a slap in her ego's face. She gets confused, starts to question herself, and, as if she didn't care, tries hard to gain the approval of that same idiot she was trying to fold like a paper. So, the lesson here is simple. Don't hesitate to say no. Don't accept being controlled, nor lower yourself to the point of becoming a malleable object. Respect is earned with integrity and firmness, not with submission and apathy. Be the guy she tries but fails to manipulate, that idiot she can't stop thinking about. Because deep down, you're everything she wanted but doesn't know how to handle. And believe me, it's It's much better to be remembered as the firm man who didn't give in than the puppet she discarded without pity. Number 5. Stop chasing like a lost puppy. Want to know the quickest shortcut to lose a woman's respect? It's running after her as if you were a lost puppy, begging for attention, sending messages every 5 minutes, liking all her posts, replying in record time as if your life depended on it. It's pathetic, seriously! Not only does she see your desperation from a mile away, but she also feels an automatic contempt for you. After all, no one values what's always available, right? And please understand something. Quality attention is not given at any moment and at any price. If you're always chasing, showing that her life is more important than yours, she'll see you as a nobody who has nothing better to do. And it's precisely that which makes her treat you as a last option. You know that talk of, "Oh, I'm busy now. I'll talk to you later." And that later never comes? Yeah, you've become the spare tire, plan B, C, or D, depending on how many contacts she has on the list. Now, see the contrast. When you stop being the desperate one in the story, when you stop being the crazy guy running after her as if she were the last Coke in the desert, she doesn't get it. Why isn't he messaging me? Could he have found someone else? Suddenly, you go from the role of predictable guy to the guy she can't figure out. And that doubt, that uncertainty, is what sparks interest. Stop and think. Every time you send a message or call just to see how she's doing, you're giving the impression that nothing more interesting is happening in your life. And then, why should she value you if you don't even seem to value your own time? When you act like this, it's as if you're saying, "I have no options, so please give me a bit of attention." Isn't that pathetic? Want some advice? Throw this behavior away right now. Have self-love and stop acting like a beggar waiting at the door of a restaurant for someone's leftovers. Because as long as you keep groveling, she'll never look at you with respect. Be a man who knows his own value, who doesn't need anyone to feel good. Have priorities that aren't her. Be so busy with your own life that she has to fight for a bit of your time, not the other way around. Do you know what's going to happen when you stop caring so much? Stop always running after her. She'll notice, and believe me, it's going to hurt her more than any ghosting she's ever done to you. Because suddenly you went from being the one who idolizes her to becoming someone she needs to win over. You became the challenge. And women love a challenge but hate a desperate guy. So, if you want to slap her with a velvet glove, disappear for a while. Focus on yourself. Disappear. Don't reply to messages right away. Show her you have a life beyond her. Because the day you stop acting like an emotional beggar will be the day she realizes what she really lost. And if she doesn't notice, great. You don't want to be with someone who doesn't respect you anyway. You don't need anyone's approval to be happy. You don't need to run in circles trying to impress someone who doesn't even value you. Stop living for others and start living for yourself. The power is in your hands. Either you become the guy who accepts anything, or you're the one who puts himself first and is remembered for it. So choose. Keep being the idiot who gets stepped on and ignored, or the idiot they can't forget. Be the man who sets his own rules, who doesn't bend to cheap games, and who doesn't lose his mind over empty compliments. The choice is yours, but remember, only you can take your own dignity out of the trash and put it back in the place where it should have never left. That was today's message. If you understood it, great. If you didn't, oh well. I'm not going to waste my time explaining it again. Those who get it will transform their lives. Those who don't will keep complaining and crawling around. The decision is yours.